What are your priorities if you're elected for your district and the city in 2023?
My priorities for my district is ensuring that they have the access to the proper tools and resources. We want to make sure that the gun violence cease. So making sure we don't put a Band-Aid on our solutions in our communities is number one. For the district, we want to be able to move our city forward. We want to be able to ensure that we have proper lighting, safety for our seniors and our youth, small business development, and support. That's how we move our city forward.
The first thing to combat at the table is gun violence. We've got to bring the stakeholders to the table. That's parents, that's teens, that's the school district, that's law enforcement. Bring us all to the table. You can't solve a problem without having those stakeholders at the table. And so many of the gun violence that's going on in our communities now are with young people. They're school-age children. And so we need to bring them to the table to see what we can do that can better their lives, so they'll put down the guns and pick up other things like hobbies and different jobs and different studies of that nature. So that's the first thing we want to combat. The second thing we want to combat is to have people, stop having flooded yards and come with our storm drainage. That seems to be a problem around the city and not just a district problem. So we want to combat that as well. And then, of course, we're tackling our beautification of our neighborhoods. What we do to one side of town, we should definitely do to the other. So there shouldn't be a reason why the more affluent neighborhoods are beautiful, their streets are nice, and then when you go to the other side of town where we have low-income individuals, where those sidewalks and those streets are just looking like trash and desolate. So we've got to be symmetric to the city, and so those are my three priorities.
Interest rates are increasing. Apartment and home rents are also increasing. What can be done to make housing affordable for everyday people?
With everything increasing, it's definitely a federal issue and not something that's local. So it drives the market for our local individuals. So what can be done is that what we talked about all along, taking our monies, fixing up these abandoned houses, fixing up these houses that have been sitting for years and making them affordable to our renters. Everything doesn't have to be new and built and new brick and mortar. We can actually make homes affordable and brand new for home buyers and for our renters. And the city does have that program. If there's any house within the city limits that you wish to buy, it could be an older model home, it'd be something new, but if it's available on the market, if it's just sitting and you know the owner, you can go into the city's program and make that happen. And many people don't know that, so we have to do a better job of getting those resources out as well. But I think that is an avenue that we need to travel because things are so high right now. And that's really the only thing we can really do at this point with the interest rates increasing and everything going up high because of the inflation and soon to be a recession. So that's all we can do when it comes to that.
And I'm going to tell you, Taylor, I've already been doing it. I bought SC Stay Plus down here, which attacked the problem with renters not being able to afford back rents when they had the eviction stay on here. Once it got lifted, so many people were eligible to be evicted from their homes. We bought the program here to ensure that that does not happen. Also with our homeowners, to ensure that our homeowners who needed help had a place to turn. And SC Stay Plus bought a new program. We partnered with them. They came and gave our homeowners relief as well. I'm working on the problems, Taylor, and I will continue to work on these solutions for our communities.
Why should District 1 voters cast their ballots for you instead of your opponent?
It's easy. I'm the most qualified. I am politically proven, people purpose. I am intentional. I am here to serve. I'm the voice for the voiceless. You call me now for your problems, and I am helping with your solution. You could not find a more experienced, qualified person than Lashonda Smith-Jackson. Get out and vote June 28th.
They should cast their ballot for me because I've been in the community working all along. I'm sure my opponent will tell you that she's been there, and she has. Everybody doesn't need to be seen when they're doing work. I see a lot of people every day It looks like they're doing work, but not really doing anything. And so we can all solve different problems in different ways. And so I've been at the tables, I've been at the meetings, and I've made sure that we've gotten our fair share. I've been the same guy that you've called on in your neighborhood when your child has had a problem with bullying or suicides at school. I've been at your call when your children were misbehaving in the neighborhood and needed a mentor. I've been at the call when you said there was no programs and there was no events for your children, and so I created one. And now we're on our 4th year with Youth Symposium. I've given back and showed homage to those who might not necessarily get to do with the Evening of Distinction, giving awards back to our communities. So we've been there in the trenches. We've been there when things were good, and we've been there when things are bad. And then we have the partnerships across the state and across this country. So those are the partnerships that we need in order to bring those monies and those resources back to the city of Florence and make Florence what it can be. And what I see this model, moving it really forward, and moving it forward in a way that everyone can have a fair share and live in a good life.